On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 disappeared from radar screens, carrying 239 passengers and crew. Despite an extensive search effort involving multiple countries and organizations, the wreckage of the plane has never been found. This has led to many theories and speculations about what may have happened to the plane. In this video, we'll explore some of the most prominent theories and examine the evidence. The flight departed Kuala Lumpur International Airport on March 8, 2014, bound for Beijing Capital International Airport. About 40 minutes into the flight, communication with the aircraft was lost and it disappeared from radar screens. The search for the missing plane initially focused on the South China Sea, where the plane was believed to have gone down. However, it later emerged that the plane had turned off course and flown over the Indian Ocean, where a massive search effort was launched. The families of the missing passengers and crew have been vocal in their calls for information and transparency from the authorities involved in the search and investigation. They have criticized the Malaysian government and the airline for their handling of the incident, and have organized protests and demonstrations in an effort to keep the search for the missing plane in the public eye. Let's examine some of the most prominent theories about what may have happened to Flight MH370. One theory suggests that the plane was deliberately taken off course by a crew member, possibly one of the pilots. This theory is supported by evidence that the plane's communications systems were manually turned off or disabled, and that the plane made a series of turns and changes in altitude that suggest intentional maneuvering. Another theory is that the plane suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure, such as a fire or explosion on board, that caused it to crash. This theory is supported by evidence of maintenance messages indicating problems with various systems on board the plane. Another theory is that the plane was hijacked by terrorists who took control of the aircraft and diverted it off course. This theory is supported by the fact that some of the passengers on board the plane were carrying stolen passports. Despite extensive investigations and search efforts, the fate of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 remains unknown. The families of the missing passengers and crew continue to demand answers, and private companies and organizations are still searching for the missing plane. The search for the missing plane has been one of the most complex and challenging in aviation history. Despite the challenges, the search continues, with the hope that one day the wreckage of Flight MH370 will be found, and we'll finally have some answers about what happened to the 239 people on board. The disappearance of Flight MH370 has raised important questions about aviation safety and security, and has spurred efforts to improve communication and tracking systems for commercial airlines. We may never know for sure what happened to the missing plane, but we can honor the memory of those who were lost by continuing to work towards a safer and more secure aviation industry. One thing that is not well known to many people is the role of the families of the passengers and crew in the investigation. The families have been tireless in their efforts to keep the incident in the public eye and have contributed to ongoing efforts to locate the missing plane. The families have organized themselves into groups and have worked with experts to analyze data and satellite images in an effort to locate the wreckage of the plane. One group, called Voice 370, was formed by the families of the passengers and crew of Flight MH370 to advocate for the rights and interests of the families and to demand a thorough and transparent investigation into the incident. The families' determination and resilience in the face of such a devastating loss are a testament to the power of community and the human spirit. While the investigation into the disappearance of Flight MH370 has not yielded any conclusive evidence, the many theories that have been put forward continue to spark intense speculation and interest around the world. The search for the missing plane has also highlighted the challenges of searching for wreckage in the vast and remote areas of the ocean. The search has involved ships, planes, and underwater search equipment, and despite the challenges, many private companies and organizations are still searching for the missing plane. As we continue to search for answers about what happened to Flight MH370, it's important to remember the 239 people who were on board the plane and to honor their memory. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries of all time. It has raised important questions about aviation safety and security and has spurred efforts to improve communication and tracking systems for commercial airlines. We may never know for sure what happened to the missing plane, but we can continue to work towards a safer and more secure aviation industry. And it's important to note that thanks to the efforts of the families and the aviation industry, new standards for aircraft tracking and communication systems have been implemented since the disappearance of Flight MH370. These standards help to ensure that planes can be tracked and located quickly in the event of an emergency. The families of the missing passengers and crew of Flight MH370 have been instrumental in pushing for these changes and advocating for greater transparency and accountability in the aviation industry. Thank you for watching Chronicles Unveiled, and our thoughts are with the families and loved ones of those who are on board Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. May they rest in peace. And if you have any thoughts or theories about what may have happened to Flight MH370, please share them in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and work together to solve this mystery. Thank you again for watching Chronicles Unveiled, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos about aviation and other unsolved mysteries. We'll continue to keep you updated on the latest developments in the search for Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370.